Oh,
Good evening.
Good evening.
good
Good
evening.
evening.
Good evening, everyone.
How's everybody doing?
We're good. I'm good.
Good.
Evening blessing.
Very good.
Station. I didn't come in the first time. Sorry about that. Audio. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear
We
you.
can
Yes,
we can
sir.
hear you
Loud and
loud and
clear.
clear. Loud and clear.
Thank you.
Loud and clear. I can't see who's on yet. Um, before we start, we want to good night everybody who's logging on. Um, did anybody want to recognize any businesses?
Um,
Oh,
I want to give a shout out again to these like amazing candles from Hello Me's daughter. I keep on burning them. Like I mean, they are like fantastic. I don't know if you can see the.
What's your favorite scent?
I love all of them. I mean, they all have like a different feel to them, but they
Mhm.
they're really really good and well made. Even the presentation of the packaging is amazing. It's well done. You can see
Yes,
it's
I
Oh,
well.
have some. They're very good. Yes, he's so right.
Yeah. So kudos to your daughter because she made an amazing product.
thank you.
Also, also
Yeah.
Miss Norma, her little food sale every Friday. Check her out. I don't have her phone number offhand, but I guess you could check her on her Facebook, Norma Melendez from Paquitos fame. So she does have a little food sale every Friday. So if you have the opportunity, check her out.
Definitely.
good
And
stuff.
Norma, just if you're watching, because you're one of our diligent watchers, viewers, I have to order some more pasteles to go back with. So, or else my kid's gonna kill me.
Excellent. I just want to give a
Nilomi, did
shout
you
out. I want to give a shout out. I'm sorry.
go ahead?
That I
Go
just want
ahead.
to come in really quick. Some fine folks over in Beaufort, Georgia. Say what's up to them. Good evening. How you doing over there? Stay fair and hope all is well. Most definitely.
Gosh, he's a mess.
Thank
Buford,
you.
Georgia.
Let me piggyback. Nilomi, do you want to? Because he said he didn't actually say the name of her business and her Instagram or Facebook page. Do you want to actually say it?
It's Sequoia by Nisha, but I can put it in the chat.
Okay. Okay.
I can put it in there.
Great. And then also Nilomi, Nilomi is a realtor for anybody who lives in Florida. Or it does it really matter? They have
Well,
to be living in Florida.
you have to
She's
purchase
a
a property
realtor.
in Florida.
Okay. So
Hmm.
Nilomi Cooper. And she has a credit repair company as well. So anybody who's looking to purchase some real estate, she's a girl.
And
Um,
Diane, you also do something too. You have a
yes.
group, or you have a group, right, Diane?
Correct. I have a fitness awareness group on Facebook. It's called Diatin, Diatin, Fit Life, and it's just a group on just as this um that the QR is a group to share motivation in fitness and health.
I will be joining. I'm letting you know.
Okay.
I will be joining.
Perfect. Okay. I wanted can't really see here. Excuse me, my neck is acting crazy. Good night, Nicole, our faithful, my faithful cousin,
One
and
of our day
Beverly.
ones from day one.
Yes, she is definitely. Well, good evening, everyone, or good day. It just depends when you're watching the show. Um, I wanted to introduce. Tonight we have Diane and we have Nilomi on with us. And today we are discussing health and wellness. Um, because at the end of the day, we always keep talking about self-care, self-love. Everybody wants that ideal partner. Um, but a lot of times we want it, but we don't even do it for ourselves. And at the end of the day, in order for us to show up, um, we really need to consider our health and wellness, and everybody's goals are different. We've decided as a group that we're going to embark on a 30-day challenge. And with this challenge, again, it is definitely, per each person. There's not one thing that everybody's going to do. Everybody has their own health and wellness goals. Um, but we want you to make it an achievable goal for the 30 days. But you also there's different things that you're going to need to do in order to make sure that you're successful. So first, let me kind of go around group for everybody to publicly announce what their health and wellness goal or goals
I,
will be for the 30 days.
I just have a question. Why are you smiling behind that so enthusiastically? Like,
Well, we starting with Debbie. So Debbie, since we're going around, let's start with you.
That's
There
fine.
you go. I love that,
That's
Pinky.
fine. That's
yeah, that's
fine.
that's,
For
that's actually
me,
one of the better things Pinky
that's
said in a while. But that's good.
exactly.
Louis,
Yeah,
stop.
we
Exactly.
said we're gonna
Terrible.
behave, Louis.
I know, right?
We did. I'm sorry. Go right ahead.
Okay, so for me, um, my number one is to definitely incorporate 3 to 4 days of a 30-minute workout. Um, for me, as I was explaining earlier before we went live, for me it is of course about some weight loss, but I have a goal. I have some pair of pants that I want to fit in. And so for me, it's trying to get into those pants and be in them comfortably. I really only basically drink water, but I know I have to increase my water intake. And so my goal is to try to do that whole, like, you're supposed to drink like a gallon of
A
water.
gallon.
Yeah. And so that is definitely my goal for the next 30 days. And as I was explaining to the group, I'm sure each week that goal might change a little bit because you realize you can do a little bit more. So for right now, those are my two goals.
That's doable.
How about you, Diane?
Okay, what I've chosen to do for the next 30 days is to reincorporate fasted cardio in the mornings. It's something that I know works if you're trying to lose extra body fat or burn extra calories. Doing your cardio before having a meal is very efficient. So I am challenging myself to wake up a little earlier to get 30 minutes of fasted cardio in before I go to the gym and actually do my strength training. So
Perfect. Wow.
So what time you gonna be getting up? 3:30?
I actually no, I'm up to get up at 2:45.
Well, you guys live close to each other, so why don't you wake Pinky up with you and just get her going?
No,
Yeah,
ma'am. No,
make
thank
that happen.
you.
How about that?
I tried to get up 5 o'clock for the last 6 months and I can't do it. Forget it,
We talk
Diane.
about we're talking about challenging, so challenge
That's
yourself. How
not
about
my
that?
challenge, honey. I
Okay.
ain't
Exactly,
doing
it's an
it.
individual
I
thing,
was
Louis.
It's
I was
individual.
trying to be a good friend.
No, no, no. You
No,
have to do something that's attainable to yourself for yourself.
Thank
okay.
you,
That's
All
Diane.
right.
right.
Thank you.
How about you, Lucian?
Oh God.
Um, I want to lose 15 pounds, and I think by me losing 15 pounds, I'll be at my ideal weight, where I think I look my best. Um, I definitely need to, get back into doing more cardio. I'm not really into like the weightlifting aspect of it because I don't want to get bulky. So like nice trim and lose like 15 pounds, and I think it should be good. Also like drink a little bit more water, stay away from the steaks and stuff for a little bit, and the late night eating. we were
Mhm.
having our little meeting. Like that late night eating is what's killing me.
Yeah.
So I got to like stay away from it. Because whenever I'm painting late, also, it's just snack, 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 coffee, 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 and it's definitely not good for me. So I'm gonna definitely work on that. I said that out loud, right? I mean,
Yes, you
Said it
did.
out
Yes,
I
loud.
was
you
proud of
did.
you. See, it wasn't that hard.
okay,
It wasn't that hard.
good.
How about you, Nilomi?
Yeah,
Okay.
Nilomi, how about you?
I'm trying to gain weight. So my goal is to gain at least 10 pounds. Um, a lot more protein, taking in a lot more protein. Work out a little bit, gain more muscle weight. So, and drink a lot more water. All I drink is water now, but I don't drink enough of it. So,
Yeah.
mhm.
Girl, you need to stick with me. I could help you on the gaining weight. I'm a pro. I'm a pro at that.
It
Pro.
took me a whole year to gain 10 pounds. So my
What?
goal this year is to gain another 10. So yeah.
Girl, you just
Okay.
need to come over here. I will put on you easy
I know,
in
right?
a
I
month.
No, she's in my backyard. I just need to give her some 10 pounds. I could give you a little bit more too.
I could gain
Oh
weight easy like that, like that. I'll help you too. Don't worry about it.
How about you, Mr. Llanos?
Um, so definitely try to probably lose about I'd say about maybe 10, 20 pounds, give or take, more toning than anything. Definitely do a lot more walking. I was doing that kind of, you know, stop that for I don't know whatever reason. Look at eating like look at what I'm eating. Like, of course, you mentioned earlier the squeezed cheese. Anybody out there like squeezed cheese? I love squeezed
No,
cheese and
Louis.
crackers. That's
No.
just a great little snack. But no, I do I do have to watch that. But definitely work
No.
on being doing a little more walking.
I
Doing a
swear
little
by
more.
that squeezed cheese crust.
I'm
Maybe,
done with it.
but
I'm done.
Louis,
I'm done with it.
Maybe that needs to be one of the things, at least for 30 days, that you just
I did.
eliminate.
You guys saw me
Okay.
last night. I called my niece. I was like, "That's yours." It's out of my possession. Like literally, I'm done
Okay.
with that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Got to have that
Perfect.
willpower. I mean, I was able to cut out a lot of things due to my recent health issues. So cutting out stuff for me is like cold talkie all the time. I can just stop. I don't need to go through any program or anything like that. I can just stop. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Not to discredit anybody in any way, because sometimes I just say stuff that just come out. But hey,
Yeah, yeah,
this is a
yeah.
live
That's a,
show, and we say things, but just to be on the safe side, I'm just I'm able to do that. Thank God for that. But definitely lose some weight and get to the walking. So my 30-day challenge would be that. So I think Lucian and I we're gonna team up. Anybody else who's out there on the Big Island that wants to join us, and we could try and knock this down, because this is a 30-day challenge, not just for us collectively, but this is a L&E
Exactly.
30-day challenge. So hit
Exactly.
us up if you guys are
Exactly.
interested, and let's work something out. Most definitely, and then we could hang out afterwards, of course.
And drink water, right?
Yeah.
That too, yeah, of course.
Okay.
I know I
Okay.
drink a lot of water. Come on, I drink a lot of
Okay.
sparkling
I just
sorts of
messing with
water.
you.
Yeah, I do that a lot. Yeah.
I'm messing with
Mhm.
you. How about you, Miss Trina? Pinky.
I my 30-day challenge. I gonna do 33 days. If I could make it to 30, I guess I could make 33. Because the theory is if you do something 33 days consistently, you'll change your brain. So I need to change my brain. You know what I'm saying? I got a problem with junk food.
I ain't saying
So
nothing
my
about
goal
that.
is to lose 10 pounds. I think it's about 8 because I think when I lay them chips aside, that's gonna take off an easy 2, 3 pounds. I swear that's salt and that sodium. So maybe I only gotta lose 7 to 8 pounds. I don't know. But my goal is 10. Leave the junk food. I ain't gonna eat none of my baked goods. None. Cause I
Are
got
you
this.
big, Pinky?
Yeah, that's
But
my business,
you
Diane. I
got
don't
you have
bake.
to taste you as a chef or as a
Ooh, Diane,
culinary.
you live
Uh,
close by, so you'll be able to sample.
Uh,
Gigi,
uh,
Oh God, I
See,
got these.
no,
I got
she's
these cookies last night. After we talk, I talk about the junk I had during the day. After we talk last night, I went to bake a few cookies and eat them with some coffee ice cream.
Mm.
Did
No,
last night.
we're not doing that. You're
Thank
not
you,
gonna get me
Diane.
caught up into that at all, at all, at all, at all. I just
Oh
trying to
my.
recover from some chocolate cake that I had at home. I go into withdrawals. I can't get hooked on anything else. I'm sorry.
but that's her
Let me
business,
tell
so
you, I am
she need
so
to
hooked
taste
on
what
them
she's doing,
cookies.
right? Think you need to taste what you're doing when you're selling your stuff, right? You need to be able to
Nah,
sample
I
it.
got a recipe down pack. I know
Okay,
it.
there you go. All right.
I ain't got to
There's no
taste a
need for you to
thing.
be. Mm.
I don't be tasting it 'cause I want to eat it. Like terrible. Like terrible. So 33
Okay.
days of no drunk. Look, I gain panic attacks just saying it, okay? Woo,
You'll be
Well,
fine. You will be
you
okay.
you
You'll be
you
okay.
gonna we're gonna all be fine,
I
and we're gonna
can't
be
breathe. I
even
can't breathe.
finer. We're gonna be even finer at the end of this 30-day challenge. So, people can bring out their bathing suit pics, which the guys I'm sure would love. I'm just joking, but I mean, if people want to,
No,
hey,
you're right.
I,
You're
I,
right.
Chris said we should create a group chat to keep each other motivated. I don't know how we can do that via Facebook. We can do that. We can probably create a WhatsApp group um, to keep everybody
we could just
motivated on
post
our
every
path.
day.
We could do that too, but I think it'll be kind of random. So if we can all do it, maybe at the end of each week, we can probably come back and kind of do like how everybody's doing.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely everybody should get an accountability partner to hold you accountable to what you're saying you're gonna do. I'm gonna put up a post within the next day or two. And under that post, everybody can write under that post. So it's written um, what it is that they plan on doing for this next 30 days. But before we go any further, we invited Diane to come on because for those who are viewing who do know her, don't know her, she's from St. Croix, lives in Texas, and she has made the choice in her life, the journey in her life towards fitness. And so I kind of wanted her, she's like our motivating factor um, to do this 30-day challenge. By the way, happy belated birthday.
Thank
Um,
you.
and so again, what made you decide that you needed to do something in regards to addressing your health issues?
Um, First of all, when you say made me, it's like a lot of us probably have to go through the ups and downs of doing what we know is right. When it comes to medical, obviously the doctor is saying you have an issue, right? So for me, it was pre-diagnosed with pre being pre-diabetic. Okay, but again, isn't something new. It's something I had been told
Mm.
and was told to in order to beat it or not have to go on medication. I would have to change my eating habits. I would have to exercise. Okay. I will go back yearly for appointments, be told the same thing. So it's like, we just said when we at home, we hiding, you're hearing it, constantly hearing it, but you're not doing what you know you're supposed to do, right?
Mhm.
So for me, it took it. So I'm not saying this to say it didn't happen overnight. It was years of attempting, maybe starting to walk and then falling back into the cycle. I did when I was in St. Croix, I did Herbalife for a little bit. I would just do whatever random fad diets or whatever it is I felt I needed to do at the time to keep my doctor quiet for the moment. But it wasn't something that I consistently continued to the point where it became a lifestyle. And that's what we want to do. I know we're doing a
Right.
30-day challenge, but ultimately we want to develop patterns that we could live with and continue past the 30 days. Okay.
Right.
So, yeah, the physical part of it was a big part, a big aspect. I didn't like how I look, like the muffin top, didn't like I didn't like the fact some of my clothes couldn't fit anymore, like you said, Debbie. Just have
Mhm.
those things was a definite factor. But the pre-diabetic thing diagnosis was definitely something that really rode heavily on me. My father was that had diabetes, so I saw him having to inject insulin every day. And I don't like pills. At this point, I still can't swallow pills. So I don't want to take any pills, and I definitely don't want to be shooting up any insulin in my thighs. So that is one thing we have control over. Some illnesses we don't, okay? But something like diabetes, we kind of have control over how far it progresses, right? And that control is by changing your diet and exercise. So that's what kind of prompted me, in a sense, in addition to my physical appearance, to get my act together. Having we have we all have children. We want to be there for our children. We want our lives to possibly, if we could aid in assisting or to extend our lives, and not only extend our lives, but the quality of our lives by exercising and eating properly, we can do that. I'm thinking we can. So, like I said, it's going to be many times that you start and you stop and you start and you stop because you're trying to figure out what works for you. And I think that was my thing. I still had to find what works for me. And once I did, it became a lifestyle. Okay, now it's no longer a burden or struggle. Even though I have my days, but ultimately I want to continue to go to my doctor and hear her tell me, whatever you're doing. The last time I saw her, she was, whatever you're doing, continue doing it. That's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear, because let's piggyback on the diet and exercise. There was a point where I was exercising. I thought I was eating correctly, but I still was eating what I want, but I was kind of trying to portion control, kind of sort of. So for me, I felt I could still eat what I want, but if I eat less, which that's good too, okay, I was doing good. Had my appointment, my doctor told me I'm one point away from being considered diabetic. I was devastated. I came out and I have a chat with my sorors, and I was devastated. I was like, but I'm working out. I'm working out. I'm in the gym every day. How in the world can I be still 1 point away from being having diabetes? Okay, so in addition to the workout, I had to realize I had to change the things I'm eating. Okay, that's the only how for me to have been able to control the diabetes portion of it. So even though I may have been losing the weight and the working out, whatever, the nutrition that I was feeding my body wasn't helping in in helping with the diabetic part of it, which is ultimately the
Right.
most important thing for me at this. So that's why I say
Right.
I have to eat for wealth. Okay, I have to eat. Our health is our wealth. So
Well,
I have to eat for my wealth, which is my health. And in doing that, I had to cut back a lot of things that I enjoy. And put, I just look at it. I have it's my health. So sometimes I do miss certain things. Like I said, I went home this weekend and I had some chocolate cake that I got into. Okay, and drank a lot of water afterwards, and I'm done. Okay, I had my moment. So I'm not gonna go by Pinky and have no cake, no cookies, none of that stuff, because I'm not doing that, because that's just off limits for me. Okay, so to go back to your question again, is basically was my health. It was the diagnosis of being pre-diabetic was one of the major things that prompted me to really stick to my nutrition. Okay, because the working out, I was that's easy. That's the easy part. I think that's easy. Is what we put in our mouth is could be the most difficult part of the whole journey.
I
Yeah,
think
that's
Diane
right.
talking to me.
Oh,
Right.
really?
And they don't they say it's 80% what you
Eighty
eat,
twenty.
20% and 20% your workout.
remember
So that
remember the
just
mouth
shows
is a
you
gateway to the body. So
exactly. And
Mhm.
again, it's also in terms of mental health, because I think also if you are taking care of your body. I mean, I don't remember if we had this discussion live. I think we had it as a sidebar discussion with Karen. You know, it was so crazy to me having that conversation. There's some people, I know this might be a little TMI, but some people who do not use the restroom for a week or two, and
Hmm.
like I can't even understand how that's normal. And you know, today I was looking at
What?
a YouTube video. Yes, I was looking at a YouTube video, and this girl was talking about just by changing what she was eating, she was somebody who would go a week before she'd go to
Cut
the
out
restroom.
meat, and I'm telling you, you
Oh
will
yeah.
go.
Oh yeah.
Right. And so I think it's that. And I also think it's that some people need to incorporate fiber in their
Hmm.
diet as
Mhm.
well. And so it was just by changing a little bit of what she was eating, she noticed her energy level. She noticed that the changes with that. She noticed changes with her skin. But then again, I think it also, you know, coincides with when you're doing better and feeling better, you can be a better person for other people. And I think it also helps with your mental
Definitely.
and emotional health as well. So
Most definitely.
it all goes together. And that's one of the things that I'm hoping that people pay attention to with this. And again, if all you're doing is drinking more water, if it's something as, I mean, just as simple as taking sugar out of your diet or less out of your diet, think about how you feel now and chart it for the 30 days and see if you feel a significant difference. Because I think for most people, you will.
Yes.
Um, so that definitely is something that I'm going to be paying attention to in terms of just my energy level and in terms of just how I am with other people, you know.
Hmm.
Um, Lomi, I kind of wanted to also talk about in your case, because you have health issues as well that kind of make it hard for you to gain the weight. And I'm sure some of our viewers, um, you know, everybody has different things that they might be dealing with. So if you want to kind of discuss that.
I will. I have autoimmune. I have hypothyroid, which causes you to lose weight. So that's one of the challenges. And 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with lupus. And with the lupus, same thing with the fatigue, weight loss, hair loss. So it becomes a challenge. I had to really do research because I didn't know what lupus was. No one in my family had it. So it wasn't something I was familiar with. So I had to do my research and look into it some more. Change the way I eat, change my lifestyle. That had a lot to do with it because what you put into your body is so important. A lot of times, especially with lupus, it causes more inflammation in your joints, pain. So it's a lifestyle change for me. It wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad lifestyle change because my kids. I have 2 kids. I have 3 kids. 2 of them are vegetarian. So I was used to cooking that way and cooking healthy and clean. So it wasn't that big of a change, but still, it was something that I had to stick to. But and it is a challenge trying to gain weight because certain things that refined sugar, just certain things that will be help you gain weight that is not good for me. So I kind of stay away from certain things. Red meat, I maybe eat that once a year, if that, but it
Hmm.
takes my body 10 times longer to process it. So it's not something I put in my body a lot. So you kind of tailor it to how,
Right. And I think
so
that's what another thing that people have to really take serious is that if they do have health issues, you know, I remember talking to, I think it was my sister, and I was saying that when I went to do my physical in August, like my doctor does like a complete blood workup. And she was like, whatever you're doing, continue to do it. And I know for me, one of the
Hmm.
differences, I like Diane, I don't like
That's
taking
what Diane
pills
wanted to
either.
hear, right? That's what your doctor
That's
like to hear,
that's
rather.
exactly the same exact. Is
I
that the
know.
thing the doctors say? He's like, because that's
Well,
the same thing
no,
my doctor told me.
this was the first time she said that, and I know what played a role in that is that ever since this whole pandemic, I think he can attest. I do not like to take vitamins. I don't like to take pills. I don't like to take pills if I don't have to. And so, but because of this pandemic, I started taking the zinc and the vitamin C and upping my B12 and all this kind of
Wow.
stuff. And when I got my blood work, she's like, whatever you're doing, continue to do it. So, definitely for anyone who hasn't gone and gotten a full checkup, please go and do that. It's better to fix issues before they get out of hand. And again, you want to bring your
Isn't
best
that the
self.
truth?
Yeah, I'm sure you can give testimony to that.
Are you kidding me? I mean, but to add to that too, I
Right.
know I have my cheat days, and I know I'm probably made a comment about the screeches. That's nothing that I do all the time. I actually had like a little moment with that, um, and that's done. Like I said before, I have the ability to just cut stuff out. But I definitely have changed my diet. I didn't have a choice. I had to,
Right.
because of my cardiac condition. So and folks out there, and our culture, our diet rich in sodium, rich in so many different things that are not necessarily good for us. But that's just a cultural thing with us. So I think, and I don't know if I talked about this before on the show, but I know I had this conversation before, that we need to look at our diet culturally and start to probably try and make some kind of a shift, or like, then I like to say a pivot, only because
Mhm.
for generations this is how we what
Been
we've
eating.
known. But if we
Mhm.
try to become a more health conscious society, let's try and go towards that direction, not just for us, but for our for the next generation, for those that are behind us.
That's true.
So that's something that we need to try and consider. And then this younger generation, they're much more aware, I guess you could say, only because I've always, I always allude to the tech savvy millennials, the dot comers and everything, because information is always ready. We didn't have that type of access, when we were growing up. We had wall book, you know, and information
Yeah.
changes rapidly. So it ain't like you could get a new wall book every year. So
True.
but yeah, so that's something I definitely had to change my diet for sure. And like Naomi said, I don't eat meat. I rarely eat meat. I can't tell the last time. That's something that I've cut out. Actually, as a result of that, I needed to take iron tablets because I wasn't
Mhm.
getting enough iron in my diet. So I
Wow.
had to. They put me on iron tablets. You know what I mean? So there's a balance. It has to be a balance. You know what I mean? You're
It's not easy. It's
no,
definitely not
it's
easy.
it's not. It's not at all. Trust me when I tell you, I am probably 80% plant based. I do eat some chicken, and I do eat definitely salmon. But because I am definitely leaning towards that direction. To be honest with you.
Ooh. I
But you
was
know
just
what's so
reading.
funny about that?
Go
Hmm.
ahead, Luzanne.
The funny thing about it is, like, we don't read packaging. Once
You're
they
right.
say, like, for example, like when you look at something, right, and it says like 25, let's say like 25% like sugar, and then you
Mhm.
see like 25% carbohydrates, like in your mind is not sugar, but it is sugar.
Breaks
So
down. Yeah.
you're actually getting
Mhm.
50% sugar. You know what I'm saying? But once again, it's like, because even though a carb is not a sugar um when you first eat it, but then the end result is a sugar. So
Right.
reading the back of part of containers and stuff is vital, because information is there for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And you'll
Hmm.
be surprised at how much salt and sugar is in stuff, man. It's like, what?
Sodium. Yep.
You don't even like,
Mhm.
especially sugar, because they drown sugar in everything. You
Yeah.
know, if you
That's
buy
what
one of these
caused me to
local drinks,
change. Go ahead, Luzanne. Go ahead.
like when you look at these local drinks, like that you can buy from the supermarket and stuff, you can take one local drink, right, and thin it
That's
down times,
yeah.
three times
Hmm.
the water, and it still have flavor. And I'm
Yeah.
True.
just like, that's a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
It
for
is. I
drinks
I
in
learned
this
that
hot weather.
with salad dressing because I was I'm a salad dressing. I was a salad dressing freak, and I
Yeah.
started reading labels. And I remember I don't know where I learned it from, but when sugar is in within the first five ingredients in something, that's a problem.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so I had to change like the salad dressings, like start reading the labels for salad dressings. And true, we really don't read the label. We just see something, we pick it up and we use it. And a lot of these things, like he said, sugar, the sodium, preservatives in them, some of these names you can't even pronounce in the things that we're eating, all contributing to our health issues. So I think he calls me the food
And,
police. Problem with me is
and
that
also,
like I know
mhm.
most of this stuff, I just don't. Okay, go ahead, Lucian.
And
Like, I
also
think you
too,
need a food
when you
police
hear them
ourselves.
say, like non-fat diet, those are key words for stuff you ain't supposed to be eating. Period.
All right.
Especially when they say like diet, because diet like it usually has like aspartame, aspartame, whatever it's called, and different
It's
other
always a
sweeteners.
substitute. Mhm.
Yeah, and they stay in your body a lot longer.
Mhm.
So if you see natural sugar, even though you think it's not bad, it's actually the best thing for you because like those other sugar substitute, they stay in your bloodstream a lot longer than regular sugar. So that again adds on to the pounds to your midsection also because it's like it takes a longer time to get out of your body.
Right.
Yeah, I could tell.
Yep. Educating yourself, doing research, that's important.
I
So,
could tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
mhm.
I agree with Lucian because I definitely, even though I've lost, I've started to gain back because of again my little cheat days. But I wanted to add that with what you were saying about the reading of the labels. I never paid attention. I'm sure a lot of us here never really paid attention. But like Debbie said, that's something that we have to start doing. I definitely have started doing that. But consciously, we don't think about that. Like we said, the sugars and the good. Well, there's good carbs and bad carbs, and nobody really thinks about that. But we definitely have to pay attention to the intake for sure. I mean, I say that all the time. We are the mouth is gateway to the body, and we are what we eat. It's easy to say, we talk about it all the time, but this challenge, I think, is going to really set some kind of a tone for at least for most of us here. I ain't gonna call our names, but yeah, for most of us here, this challenge will definitely set some kind of tone as to a type of discipline, and to see if we have the discipline to actually endure for the 30 days and beyond.
Right.
Let's
And
not just
beyond. Exactly.
yeah,
That's
Right.
let's
Like
not
And
just look at
beyond.
self-image. Mhm.
let's not look
Well,
at just the
I've
30
been
days.
kind of quiet because I've been letting everybody go, but my journey started years ago, and my journey really, really took off the last, I don't know, 5, 6 years ago when Vincent got cancer and I got a stroke. So, like Louis, my health wasn't compromised because of my diet, because that was altogether different. But after I got the stroke and he had cancer, I started to look at foods differently and I started to look at how foods were prepared. And so that's when my journey took a ton because I was exercising years before. I was watching what I eat and I was doing, like me and the kids, we laugh. We were doing like whole wheat Pop Tarts because we thought that was healthy, right? Or we were doing processed like pizza and those kind of foods. But after the stroke, I eliminated all processed foods. I eliminate as much as I could plastic bottles. I eliminated the microwave. I just eliminated everything that was processed. And that's to me when my journey truly started. I've been exercising, I don't know, for 20 years, and I had lost 60 pounds 20 years ago. So I was already on a journey. But in that journey, I did gain weight, and then I lost weight again.
so it goes up and down.
It goes up and down. But I find it that the last 6 years was my most successful because, and I think maybe I lost maybe, I don't know, 20, 30. I wasn't using the scale. I don't know. And again, it was stress. But I started to study food and I started to study holistic living. And when I started to study holistic living, I started to let go of a lot of things that wasn't a part of the holistic lifestyle. Like I said, microwaves. That's not for everyone. That's just for me, the part that I took because of cancer and the stroke. I find that well-being comes in a whole package. It's not just what we eat. It's how we think. It's how we live a daily basis. How we live daily. our relationship with the Creator, God, whatever you call it, exercise. You know, we live in a time where years ago, people didn't have to exercise because their lifestyle was, you know, they walk, they this and that. I used to live in New York years ago. We had to walk up trains to the step to the trains, everything. When I moved to Texas, the car was right there. We weren't walking, going nowhere. So you had to make an effort to exercise. I feel like exercise to keep our mind and our body healthy, what we eat. And so because I don't eat healthy, like I'll have a smoothie, I drink tea, whatever, I only eat organic foods, no process. I felt like, okay, I could eat the organic chips, whatever. I don't need Louis to say anything. Yeah, it's crazy. So then I pick up organic chips and I do this. It's not good, right? I even pick up the low sodium chips, whatever, you know, and then I justify eating my baked goods as, well, I bake them, they're not processed. Anyway, I justify my nonsense. But again, holisticness is a whole thing. It's the diet. It's not necessarily for me, for other people, it could be how I look. Because I think at the end of the day, once we watch our way we eat, we're gonna look fine, right? But it's more about the health. But then I also see it from the relationship perspective years ago, like, what am I bringing to our relationship? Because my late husband had health issues and that caused a lot of problems within the relationship. So now bringing that forward, I'm like, I don't want to go through that ever again, because he was borderline diabetes. He was on high blood pressure medications. He was on every possible thing. And it was just too much on the family. So I didn't want to deal with that again. I don't want to deal with that again. I'm not dealing with that again. And I don't want to bring that to our relationship either. So wholeness, again, is so many parts of it, you know, is what we bring. If we're unhealthy mentally, if we're unhealthy physically, we bringing that to the relationship. We adding some other problem to the relationship. And like Diane said, like Debbie said, our kids looking on. We passing these things on to our kids. So I watch my kids and my girls, they overweight. My guys, my sons, I have 2 sons and 2 daughters. The boys, they watch where they eat, they don't walk out. Girls, they don't do what they want. Okay, I don't tell them when I want them, I care. I didn't do what I want. Now why you adults? That's up to you. I ain't raising no adults. That's my job done when it comes to raising children. But again, they saw unhealthiness within the household, and then that's what they choose to adopt. And I tell them, you adopted what you want, because you could have adopted the healthy lifestyle, but you choose the unhealthy. So that's up to you. You will figure it out. And Lucianne, you raising your hand.
That was very well said, Pinky. Thank you for sharing. So, what I've realized is that is a mind, body, and soul aspect of, especially when we're eating and doing the stuff we're supposed to do with the intake of food. I perform my best whenever like I am eating healthy and exercising. I don't know what it is. It's like I feel like if like my mind is like it's more clear, I'm not as tired, and it just feels like if it's like I'm feeding my soul for some reason, you know. So as Pinky was saying, you have a choice, especially your children. Because I look at my father. My father's like 75 years old. My father looks like if he's like in his late 50s, like built, walking around with his shirt off, like showing off whenever I bring a girl over, and I'm just like, really, dude, put a shirt on. What's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? But it's just the fact that he's always worked out. And then whereas my mother now, she lived an unhealthy lifestyle and she has dementia. So in my life, it's just like, okay, so you have 2 distinct, like, directions in which you can go, but it's up to you to take the path. You know what I'm saying? So I was just trying to piggyback on what you were saying, Pinky, before I forgot what I had to say, but you can continue now. Thank you.
Thank you. But you said it, it's like, it is the whole package, and the reason why you feel better when you exercise is because you're oxygenating your whole entire body and you're pumping bloods into areas that ain't gonna get pumped into when you're sitting down. And we also, if we exercise and we oxygenate and we send blood to different parts of our body, it prevents diseases.
Oh, yes, definitely.
That's why the brain, that's why you're clear in your thinking, because you're oxygenating your whole body, including your brain. So it's not just about looking good, but it's about a healthy way of living. And
Yes.
nobody don't want to live with diseases, you know. So the best way to prevent the best way to deal with diseases is to prevent them. Because once we
Exactly.
get a disease, you gotta work twice as hard. So prevent it from the get-go by living a lifestyle that will prevent it. But then we also got to address this issue of stress in well-being, right? Anxiety and these things. So for me, that's what caused my stroke. It was stress. And I realized that stress is just like eating poison every single day. If you live a stressful lifestyle, you swallowing poison. That's what I've heard it referred to. And it made so much sense. That negative, that anger, whatever it is, we eating it, swallowing it every day, and it will have an effect on the body.
To add to what Pinky was saying about oxygenating or oxygen flowing through, I went through a cardiac rehab. And Pinky, did you have to do cardiac rehab? You did. So I did it here in St. Croix, the cardiac center. Definitely shout out to those folks. Excellent program. Mr. Andrews and Miss Burke, they're really good people. What I've learned, I did it for 3 months. That was a requirement of or condition of, my even getting back into society, even getting back to work. I had to do this first. And so I did it for 3 months. And what I've learned is, when I first started, first of all, I was doing treadmill, step machine, and a hand bike. I had to do that 3 times a week for 3 months. So it was crazy, but I saw the progress because when I first started, it would take me. It was 20 minutes for each machine, and when I first started, I would do like maybe point 0.7 to point 0.8 of a mile in 20 minutes. When I got to the end, I actually did my best time. I did a mile in 18 minutes. I mean, that to me, that was major progress to be able to do a mile in 18 minutes and just keep
Mm-hmm.
steady moving. And then, of course, I went up to the elliptical machine and I did that.
You mute yourself.
You muted by mistake.
Can you hear me
You
now?
muted, yeah.
I hear you now.
Yeah, sorry about that. There was an issue here. But have any of you tried the elliptical machine? That joker is Diane. You tell me, that ain't easy.
It's not.
It
I
is
can't
The
not.
even
elliptical
do
because
it.
it gives you a whole full body,
It is
your
not. That thing
arms
is.
and your
But I
legs.
was able.
Hard.
I only actually did it the last 2 weeks because it took me 3 months to get to that. But interestingly enough, what I wanted to talk about, Pinky, when you mentioned oxygenating, what I found out, what I learned is we always used to take our pressure on vitals before we start because we used to keep a record. And every time after I worked out, my pressure would drop. So of course, people think about when your pressure drops, they think about, oh, you gotta be careful with that. But in working on exercise, it's actually a good thing because what's happening is your veins, everything is dilated, so everything is opening up. So you got blood flow going through everything, and you actually feel good. I mean, you really, literally feel good after you work out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've never really experienced that before. So that was a new thing for me. Now, of course, I did that to get back, like I said, back into the real world. Um, and now I kind of like slack off. So I need to get
You
back.
don't like feeling good? What it
Pardon
is?
me?
You don't like
Huh?
feeling good?
I love, of course, but again, you get back into to 8 to 5, get back into doing what you got to do, and but I am
Listen,
definitely getting back on that train. No, that's happening, and that's
let me
part
say
of
something
that.
about sorry to cut you off,
No,
but
go ahead.
you just ended by saying life happens and I guess work and everything. I say it all the time. We all have a job, right? We have children, we have a family. We do what we have to do for our families. We do what we had to do for our job, right? And we neglect ourselves.
Right,
Ain't
right.
that the
Right.
truth?
Correct.
I work 10 hours a day.
Hmm.
And so it may seem crazy that I wake up at 2:45, 3 o'clock, whatever it is. But I made
Right.
that commitment to myself. I'm not gonna give a job 10 hours, come home, do homework, do whatever with my daughter, and then neglect myself. Because if anything happens to me, can I do any of those things? No, you can't. And so I had to really commit that time. Like ever anyone says they don't have time to work out, I'd be like, are you serious? You know, all it takes, like Debbie said, 30 minutes. 30 minutes. So I've seen people, and I'm sure you probably have as well, seen people during their lunch hour or whatever, going to taking walks around the building where they work, different things like that. If your facility has a gym, they go downstairs and they work out. Because so you have to commit that time. And like also what Louis said, to me, working out makes me feel good. A lot of people have said, you look so happy, you glowing and all of that stuff. And it's I have my stresses. Believe me, Pinky, I be stressed out. I have my issues, and I sometimes I wake up and I'm like, oh gosh, the stuff like going through my head. And you know what? I'm like, I'm going to the gym.
And you don't
Okay.
feel better, right?
Yes, yes, you
My
do. So
family could tell when I am not exercising and doing my yoga. My children them does you ain't been exercising. You ain't when last you do your yoga, mom. They could tell.
yes. So
Yes.
it is a mental. It's again, you get look at the benefits you're getting. You're getting the health. Okay, you're getting the physical reward. The physical is the reward for everything else, and your mental health. My my most rewarding year in my challenge has been since March last year, and we all know what started in March of last year. Okay,
Right.
if it hadn't been for my exercising and my connection with the ladies that my accountability partners. I have a lot. I have groups of accountability partners. I have my sorors. I
Mm.
have some ladies that I met from a challenge in Atlanta. I have my classmates, class of 1990. I have little clusters, and everybody, like Debbie said, everybody on different track. I have a soror, sorry, not a soror. I have a classmate who is a vegan. Every so often she's shooting off these pictures of her food. I'll be like, Natasha, I am not eating that. Okay, I, I I respect you. You're awesome, everything, but I can't do it. I'm not giving up eggs. I'm sorry. Okay, but we all on our different journeys, but we connect through our one common interest or one common goal to improve our health, the physical, of course, and the mental, you know, the feeling of just it's an accomplishment, a personal accomplishment when after I finish my workout and I walk out that gym and I'm heading to work for 6 o'clock. You ain't got nothing on me. Nobody could have my day is made. Okay, I've set the tone for my day. I'm good. Nobody can upset me. I already worked out. I already given myself my time.
To piggyback on what you said, Diane, when you said we have to make the time because we don't make time for everything else, that's when I got the stroke because I had stopped working out and I had stopped taking care of myself. And when I went in the hospital, everybody, the nurses and everybody were coming in and the doctors was like, you need to take care of yourself. And I was like, oh, my husband got cancer and, I got 4 kids. And they were like, okay, but if you can't take care of you, how you going to
Are you
take
gonna
care
take care
of
of them?
them?
Exactly.
Exactly. That's when the light bulb hit that I had to make myself a priority and I had to take care of me because if I didn't, I wasn't going to be around. I wasn't going to be around to take care of nobody, and that's why I said that was the light bulb. But we do really have to choose to make ourselves a priority instead of continuously, especially as women, we continuously know how to give to our children. We know how to give to our spouses or our mates, the house, the cooking, whatever, the laundry, the clean, whatever. We don't take it. Guilty, never taking care of myself. You
Well,
saw right.
remember, Doctor.
Diane.
Remember, we had Dr. Williams on the show once, and he actually shout out to Dr. Williams, by the way. It's a great show that he was on. But remember he talked about when you're being in the plane. What's the first thing happen if there's
You have
a
to put on the
change
life
in
on yourself
change
first.
in well, there's a change in pressure and the mask drop. What's the first thing they
You
tell you
put
to
the life
do?
vest on
You
yourself
put
first.
yours on first so that you can put the next person or child next to you, whatever. Because
Right.
again, you gotta take care of yourself. That was a
Exactly.
great analogy that he came up with. It really made sense and it resonates a lot. You know, what I mean, unless you take care of yourself and you do what you need to do, how are you
Oh
going to take
yeah.
care of
And it's
others? How are you
not
going to take care of your
selfish. You know, we
kids?
say, oh, you all you're thinking about is yourself. And like, no,
Right.
self-care is the best care.
Yeah, but we
Yeah,
talk about
it's
it a
true.
lot, but we really need to practice what we preach, though. I mean,
Right,
seriously,
exactly.
as a society, as a
Exactly.
community, even
And that's
just
where the
us right here, we
accountability
really need
practice
to.
come in. If I mean something, because it's not, it is hard for an individual to say. Not everyone has that, you know, discipline and to say, okay, I'm going to do this, okay, and I'm going to stick with it continuously day after day. It's hard. It was hard for me. I did not do this on my own. And when I started, I had somebody who checked in on me, who pushed me, who encouraged me, who inspired me. And if it hadn't been for that person, I probably would not have gotten to where I'm at. Okay. And from that person, like he was saying, you know, Bev Bev is inspired by me. She's inspired by Bev. That's how you go. You know, it's a full circle. You know,
Mhm.
somebody's looking and you may not know it, but somebody's looking and are inspired by your process and your progress, you know. And that's whenever someone would text me or inbox me and tell me, oh, you know, I'm impressed, and I'd be like, really? And because of you, because I saw your post, I got up and I worked out. I'd be like, me, you know, because I'm not thinking, I just want to share, you know, I'm sharing to say this is what I'm doing. And yes, if it does help someone, that's great. But I did not do it alone. And we all need somebody to, if it's not one person, a couple people to look in on us, to check in on us, to encourage us, to send a text throughout the day. Hey, what you had to eat today? You know, did you work out? Did you get in your miles? Did you, whatever it is? Because when you ain't gonna lie, hopefully you're not. And but then if you realize that you're really missing, then that person's job is to like, hey, let's pull in this thing here. We gotta get it going, and that's how you get to be a little bit more active with it, and soon enough, you're at the point then now the person that was encouraging you is now inspired by your progress. So it's
Right.
a give and take. Okay, it is.
Right.
We're all in it together. We're all in it to work towards that. Like I said, our main goal as to have better health.
Well, just in
Right.
case, if you didn't know that, sorry, Debbie, just to add, if
Mhm.
you didn't know, we meet twice a week as a group here, and when the conversation came up about fitness, I was like, well, who we get to talk about it? I was like, I know the perfect person, and I call your name. I know you what that person said. When people come to you and say, "Oh, me," no, be like, own it. Yes, you. So know that
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're
And
you're doing
again,
Beverly
you
put
phenomenal things.
the walkout queen in message.
Who
But
did
you know,
that?
for that, the Beverly put the walkout
Oh
queen.
gosh!
Oh, for real, no, for real, you gotta earn. I mean, own that. I mean, you earned it, no doubt.
But you know,
yeah.
for
And
Naomi, and I will piggybacking off of, we wanted to piggyback off of what Debbie said about the person who wasn't going to the restroom to do number two. You know, for this challenge, we're looking at things we need to eliminate out our life, but there's some people who need to add things into their lives. There are people who
right.
might need to add salads or fruits. You know, they might need to just add things healthy, one healthy meal. It start with one, you know. For me, Diane, I started with one, which was my easiest, like I tell you, breakfast. Because I used to skip breakfast. And so adding intermittent fasting in my life and
That's a good thing too.
doing smoothies was easy. And exercise was easy. So I done had two parts of the equation figured out. So dinner is easy. I struggle, I tell you, with that lunch part, you know. I don't eat. And so I pack up on the junk, right? So what I'm saying is for me, I have to eliminate, but I have to add. I have to add a meal in, and I got meal prep. So Beverly been yelling at me about this meal prep forever, but none you say it. And I was like, yeah, okay, I gotta work on it. I got add a meal in so I could eliminate the junk. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
so for people who struggling with like Nilomi, who you trying to gain weight, you just and you got a lot of struggles there. So I don't know. You gotta figure it out. Adding something in, might be what your 30-day challenge is. For those people out there who got the perfect weight already, or they might just got add fruits or salad every day. I don't know what to tell you, but that's a way to go about it also.
Yeah, but it for some people too who are already on a journey, like Diane was saying, every 30 days she gives herself a new challenge. So, and I'm sure even like I said, even with this, like Louis was saying in the beginning, he couldn't do the elliptical, but by the end he was.
Mm-hmm.
So with each week, you need to you should if you're staying consistent with whatever you have decided to do, you should be able to go a little bit more. So you kind of challenging your own self,
Exactly.
because like I said, this is a journey. But again, like Diane was saying, you don't even realize who you might be an inspiration for. And it might be just somebody in your home, your kids, your spouse, your significant other, whoever you're trying to attract. If somebody sees you making these changes, it might be something to encourage them as well to work on. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know who you might be impacting. And again, by having partners, or accountability partners, you might be also encouraging each other, because
Mm-hmm.
again, everybody's challenge and everybody's goals are different. And you just have to see what it is that you think that you can do in a short period of time. um, I know part of my failures in the past, and Pinky is testament to this, is that I want to do 501 things at one time, and then I mess up, So you have to start small. It has to be something attainable. And again, this is about, we're not talking about weight loss, because for some people it might not be about weight loss. This is truly about health and wellness, because as we keep saying, they're all intertwined. Your emotional, your mental, how you show up in the world, your confidence. Um, it will definitely play a part when you're feeling healthier. And again, you have to figure out what it is that, I know for me, sometimes like if my knee starts acting up, it might be that I'm eating stuff that's causing inflammation. So I gotta start taking my turmeric curcumin pills, or I don't really mess with dairy, but trying to stay away from dairy products or anything that causes inflammation in the body, like Nilan was saying, meat. Um, for somebody, I know that there've been a lot of people in this march who've done a meatless march, but I saw people who were saying maybe 2 days a week is a meatless day. And you
Yeah.
can look at people like Tabitha Brown, even Monique, the comedian. They come up with all these ingenious recipes, because again, sometimes people think, well, what am I gonna eat? It's gonna be boring. And it really doesn't have to be boring. You have to be creative, and we have enough technology that you can look and get guidance. There's tons of stuff on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
so that you can be creative. And again, meal prepping, as Diane said, because I think sometimes when we wait for that last minute, when am I going to eat? The
Yes. See,
easiest
that's when you kind of
grab
end up.
whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
that's how we mess up. So we have to be thoughtful, and that's why, although we said we're going to do this, we're going to start on Monday, so that you have some time to really think about what it is you want to do and how you're going to make yourself successful, to achieve whatever goals it is that you want to achieve. I know that like today I was looking at something and it was talking about, definitely number one, you need to identify what it is that you think you want to do, or how it is going to impact you. Two, you need to find out what the benefits of it, because at the end of the day, if you're going to do something, it's not going to benefit you. Why are you doing it? Because somebody says you need to do this, but it's not something you really want to do, more than likely you're not going to be successful in doing it for those 30 days. So it has to be something that you really want for yourself, and you're willing to sacrifice for. Again, start with something small. If for the first week, all it is that, you're going to drink half a jug of water, and then you'll realize, wait a minute, it's really not that bad. And maybe I can drink a little bit more, and I can drink a little bit more the following week and the following week after that. If you decide that you're going to cut out sugar, maybe you can cut out sugar completely, but maybe in your morning tea, just try it without sugar. Maybe use honey, maybe use
Mhm.
agave, whatever. But again, think about this because I know for me, like when I started kind of eating a lot different when I started doing fast with my church. And that's part of the reason why now for me, I really drink water. And if I drink anything else, I have to dilute it because it just makes everything taste so sweet now. But you just have to be creative because I remember when I first went on my first fast, I asked Nilumi, I said, what am I going to eat? Salad all day, every day? Like, well, what is this? You know? And again, I had to look on YouTube. I had to talk to other people and get ideas of different things that I can eat. And again, just because you're eating meatless doesn't necessarily mean you're eating healthy because sometimes people start eating a bunch of really bad carbs. You're not
Exactly.
exercising, you're
Yes.
not burning
Yes.
that
And I was.
sugar like
Mhm.
Lucian was talking about off. So you really need to be thoughtful in thinking about this and preparing for it so that you can be successful in the end. If you were to say what was the thing that made you the most successful in this journey, what would you say that it was, Diane?
Um, I think, like I mentioned before, I think overall, I know I'm the one going to be doing. I'm doing the work. I'm the one who have to get up and get to the gym. I know I'm responsible for myself, but again, I think my accountability partners, the people that I've you know meshed with on this journey, they have really been a big factor in my in it just it motivated me,
Your
as
success,
yeah, I mean, like I said,
right?
I'm going to do it for myself, I'm going to show up, because if you don't show up for yourself, you have to do that. But it's like I want to stay accountable for myself so that because I feel like someone is they're looking at me for motivation in a sense, and I don't want to let them down. So if I say we're going to do something, I'm going to make sure we do it. I'm going to make sure I do it because I'm not going to let them down because I'll be letting myself down too.
I
So
have
that
a
has definitely helped my
I have
success.
a question with that though. Should your accountability partner be somebody that's really going to hold you accountable or somebody who will just go along with you when you say, well, today I didn't really do what I needed to do? And they're like, okay, cool.
No,
Or
well,
do
I
you need
know.
somebody who's really going to put fire under you?
Yeah, yeah. You don't want accountability like can't curse a kiss behind. No, that's not what you want. You want somebody who is going to pull you up. I mean, you're gonna because I mean, I know I've told my friends, my sorors when they're not making excuses or whatever, or making I'm going to. I was like, I don't want to hear that. Okay, it's like stop making excuses. It's been how much a week since you've been saying you're gonna do the same thing. It's like come on. So yeah, I'm gonna be that, and I have that for me. I know I have that. I have that. If
Right.
I'm making excuses, I know I have someone who is going to pull me up. And I think last night you mentioned it about overtraining and overdoing anything. Once it's not something. Now I'm not getting into the in the realm of beating myself down or causing any injury or anything like that. Once they realize that because you still got more, you still got it, you still can do it. Get your behind up and go get it done. Okay, so that's the kind of accountability partner. No, you don't want somebody who's going to be okay. You're not going today. You're not doing today. That's all right. Uh-uh.
Right. Well, that's why it's a good thing that we are publicly saying what we're going to do. And I know today I put up a post and a lot of people said that they're all in. And again, like I said, I'm going to put up another post in another day or two. And everybody needs to write in the comment what it is they plan on doing so we can all hold each other accountable. And like Nicole said, maybe we could even start a WhatsApp group just to kind of like motivate daily motivation to everybody to get out there, do what you got to do. I know like in other health and fitness challenges that I've done, we had to show pictures of what we ate. Just kind of, okay, you're eating too much of this, you're not eating enough. Um, how much water did you have today? Just like basic things, you know, and some
Hmm.
people didn't even realize it, they were messing up. You know, they were making smoothies and putting peanut butter in it, but peanut butter has a lot of sugar, you know, and sometimes people just don't even know, you know what I'm saying? So having that group, having that accountability also gives you ideas and suggestions if you aren't doing the right thing, you know,
Correct.
to help you along the way. So it's not just holding you to do what you have to do, but making sure that you're doing it in the right way.
Correct.
Um,
But you know,
Yeah,
I'd
because
like
that's
to add to that too, Debbie.
mhm.
We have to learn our foods. To be successful, we have to learn what we're doing, why we're doing it, and
Right.
how it affects us. You had said earlier
mhm.
about not eating, being meatless, don't mean you're eating healthy.
It
And
doesn't.
Lucian, you were talking about the labels. Beans, very good protein, very high in carbohydrates. Also, we don't realize that beans, I think, maybe got more carbohydrates than protein, or it's very high. So in our lifestyle, we like to eat beans and rice. Now, that might be healthy, but we have to watch the amount of beans we eat in with the rice because that's a lot of carbohydrates. Or when I come home, oh, like pea soup. See, I don't plan to ever give up these things in life. So I know I had to learn about how they affect my body. Pea soup is a delight. I love pea soup. But by the time we eat the dumpling and the sweet potato and the beans, oh Jesus, I want to go sleep for the rest of the day because
But that's
I
only
know
once
it's a crush.
and how long? So I'm saying you're not eating it every day though, you know?
Right.
Yeah, but you know why, Lon? You know how I learned to eat it? The number one, I learned to cook it. But number two, so when I cook it, I don't only use like one sweet potato, two, and then I gonna eat it for like like for like 5 days. So that one, so I only eating a little bit. I'm gonna use the dumpling. So what I'm saying is I had to learn how to eat the things them that I like,
Right.
and I had to learn to eat it properly. Like callaloo. One more thing, callaloo. I love callaloo. Me gain it up. But when I get home, I don't tell the people them who serving on my callaloo, I just want one or two pigtail. And if I got two pigtail, I eat in the callaloo for two times anyway. So I only eat in like a piece of
Moderation.
pigtail. Because I
Hmm.
will it don't got so much pigtail in it, but people are ask for a lot of pigtail. I don't want a lot of pigtail. I like it, but it's not good for me. So Lucian, go ahead.
Another thing that you can do to also help your body is to do like a blood analysis because depending on your blood type, the foods you can find out the
I've heard
foods
about
that
that.
are bad. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing how you could be like, oh well, I think this is good for me because it's supposed to be good for you, but depending on your blood type, it's actually like really bad for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So so you should do some research and research about your blood type, and that will give you a plethora of information on the stuff you're not supposed to be eating.
I've
It's
heard
true
I have a
because if
story who
you
always says stuff about she mentions so she can't eat this because of her blood type and stuff like that. So I don't I've heard about that analysis with certain
Yeah,
foods contradicting with your what your blood type is.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
true
why you
because
have to know what you're eating and how it affects your body.
Yep.
A
right.
good
right.
way to know how it affects your body is after you eat it, how you don't feel. That's why I know pigtail is a protein, right? It's not a carb, right? But I don't get crash from too much pigtail. So I know for me with a callaloo, just one pigtail, and I gonna eat like only a little piece, and I gonna be like, oh, I love the pigtail, but I am not gonna eat 4 or 5 pigtail because I gonna get a crash. How does the food affect you? Is it how you feel tells you how this particular food affect you. So
Yeah, but it's
Louis
true
might be able
because
to eat 4
like for
pigtail, but I can't
carbs,
do it.
What?
for me, I
What
know,
you
and
say?
I've always been a person that I really
Are you
try to
talking to
eliminate my
I
carbs.
missed what she
I don't
said.
eat a lot of oh God. I don't eat a lot of carbs. And it was funny because one day, and I'm not sure who it was. I don't know if it was my sister or talking to my daughter. I have O positive blood. And they say that people who have O positive blood should really stay away from dairy. And I am a person, I can feel like if I eat, when I used to eat a lot of dairy, I can tell like in my body, I don't feel right. But I never knew why. Now, again, learning my blood type, now I know. They say for people who have O positive, you should stay away from
I'm O
corn.
positive too.
I didn't know that before. So it's funny. And then my sister, she would eat things, but we have different blood types. So again, you can't compare yourself to somebody else because
No,
again,
you
there's so many
can't.
factors that go into how foods affect each person. So
And it could be healthy foods too, because like I had to learn to watch like how tomatoes affect me, or you would think, oh, it's just tomatoes. From my blood type, they tell me to stay away from citrus because of my blood type. When I read that blood type book years ago, but I like citrus, so I plan not to stay away from it. But so that's why I'm saying, like, if it's just certain things I'm not gonna stay away from. Let me just be honest. I ain't gonna even pretend. Like bread, I'm not gonna not do it.
Oh, you see, well, that you're not gonna steal from bread. What kind of bread you eat?
I don't eat bread every day. I don't eat bread every day. So Debbie just sent me some bread from home, right, from the bakery. But so Diane, I don't eat bread every day. Like that bread coming today, me gonna tell her my other friend who get bread today, but she get bread today. She don't eat bread today. Me eat none yet for the day, cause I
don't
promise
say
you,
it.
Diana gonna do good. What is Beverly I talking about?
I want to.
Ezekiel bread is good bread.
That's what I was about to just say. That I have
Ezekiel
Right.
cinnamon,
transition
Ezekiel
to the
bread.
Ezekiel. So,
This is TT
I want
bread,
to read.
Diane. I ain't giving up my
Gigi,
TT bread. I ain't getting it up. I'm gonna eat one tomorrow, and that's my carbohydrates for the day. My TT bread. Me ain't getting it up. Sorry.
I want to read something. I want to read something that somebody texted to me. It says, well, it reads, bread is almost a third utensil in many European countries, as well as pastries for breakfast and full pasta meals for dinner. Yet in the U.S., bread and carbs, quote unquote, are considered evil.
Right.
What do you think? What do you think the difference is?
That
And and,
that's
and then and then it goes on. Of course, U.S. is very different from other countries. Some people think, for example, European countries dinner is between 7 and 10 or later. U.S. we have a tendency to think we should eat after a certain time. Although though we kind of like we we deal with convenience. The fact that we have access to so many different things 24 hours, we can eat anytime. Actually, to be honest with
that's
you.
a good one.
And then additionally, these countries, however, tend to be more active. Food is not so much processed, but fresh and bought
Mm-hmm.
daily.
That's the
As a
difference.
result, as a result, they have less heart disease and
mhm.
diabetes
And
It's
cancer.
than the
fresh.
U.S. So I
Mhm.
mean, so touch on that. I mean, I know we're not. That's a mosquito. What?
Lucian.
So I'm gonna like sum up everything that Louis was just saying. First of all, like the biggest issue that we have in America is that we don't walk enough. Other countries we do a lot of walking, and then also they eat like a lot of fresh food. In America we do a lot of preserved food, and
Preservative.
we have a
And
lot of
processed
GMO
food.
food too. So even
Right.
though you might think you're eating good, we don't have the nutritional value in those same fruits that other countries that outlawed GMOs are having.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing too is like when we talk about like dieting and stuff, right? Like the best diet that we can probably do is like fasting. I mean, people don't understand fasting, but fasting is really good for your body. You got to
Mm-hmm.
think about like how we were back in the day. We were hunter gatherers, so we weren't eating like how we were eating now, like all the time.
Right.
Eating was like a privilege back then. Now it's more of like
You eat
we
for
we
everything.
just we just eat. You know what I'm saying? We don't eat to survive. We just eat to live. I mean, we just eat it. Um, Intermittent fasting has also really worked well for me.
I've
And from
done
the
that as
time
well.
I stopped doing it, that's when my weight came on. Because intermittent fasting, like I would eat and I would I would stop eating like around like 5, 6 o'clock, and then start back eating like around like 10 o'clock the following day. So what people
Mm-hmm.
don't understand, I had to explain it to a younger guy the other day. We were having a little conversation. Was the fact that when you're young, your body burns a lot of fat just by thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? But as you get older, it's your metabolism slows down, and if it slows down, that means you need to like help it. So by you saying, okay, you know what? Let me stop eating like around 5. and give your body all that time to digest all that food. You
Mhm.
know, so it's so much better for it.
Right.
Um, Also pertaining to like the GMO thing, like that's why I don't understand about America because of the fact that if these other countries have like outlawed this in the GMOs, like why are they still feeding it to us, knowing that it has like no nutritional value whatsoever? I mean, you have like a
Or
Because
nice
of the money.
or
GM,
they're
There's no
or they're
regulation.
carcinogens, so like in
right?
America we the drink like yellow orange Gatorade, right? In other
Right.
countries there that's outlawed. When I learned that, I went to Canada on vacation and I was eating, I don't know, something like, oh, I remember I went to Five Guys and I was drinking orange soda. And we were like, why does orange soda taste so different from the orange soda home? Because I was like, I
Mhm.
don't drink soda, I don't want it, blah, blah, blah. But Brittany, my daughter, was like, Mommy, you need to try it. When I tried it, I tasted. And when I tasted, I realized and I asked the people then, I was like, there's certain things are outlawed in their country. If it's a carcinogen, if it's not good for you. And they have less cancers than we do. And they don't eat bread. Like when I plan to go to Paris, I can't wait because I can't wait to eat the croissants. I'm not giving up bread, sorry. But their stuff don't have preservative in it and they don't use GMO stuff. So that's why their stuff tastes better and is healthier. So it's
And
not
It's
that we don't
also,
eat bread.
actually
but
made daily,
also
fresh
they eat
daily.
a lot smaller because years ago, when the Danish used to come here, and like there was a time of the year then all of them would come, and my grandmother had asked my sister to take a gentleman out for the day, and she had taken him, I can't remember to what restaurant, and he was like, oh my God, like y'all eat all this food in one sitting. And that's another thing in European countries, they eat smaller meals throughout
Portions.
the day where we eat like this. And then for most people, the dinner is the biggest meal, and then you're gonna go lay down and go to sleep. So
Mhm.
it's that factor as well that plays into the health issues that we have in America or
Well,
countries that
you,
are territories everywhere.
you know what? Ultimately, honestly, we're all just being pimped by the government, FDA and big pharma. We're just being pimped by them. And they
Yeah,
Yep.
control the information. They
yeah,
control
because
everything that comes out. And that's
Lucian
just
said, why do we do it
Yep.
here? Because it's money. That's why we
Yep.
do it.
Right.
It's
It comes down
money.
to
it's
money.
it's again, I mean, you have these lobbyists in government that are going out there and they have their what their agenda is.
Legend.
So we're just being pimped, man. That's all that is at the end of the
But that's
day.
why
It's
that's
all
why
over.
we as a community have to make better, better, you do better. You
Do
know what
it.
I'm saying? And
But
Mhm.
you make that commitment for yourself and for your
Yep.
family. Because at the end of the day, what really makes that money is you having to go and take medication. And so
Right.
you
Back
can
to the
do what you
FDA.
need to do. Exactly. If you do what you need to
You have
do
control. That's
to
the one thing
stay
you do have
healthy.
control over.
And big pharma.
Exactly.
you know,
Exactly.
my
And
to
piggybacking on
piggyback
that,
on what I was saying too, that when you eat holistically, right, you tend to want to eat less. Like for my thing, it's not me eating the cookie, it's me eating so much cookies, right? But when you eat, because another thing we do when we're on diets, we neglect so much things from our diet. And then you see a lot of people who got through that quick weight loss because they had surgery, their skin that changed, their body that changed, they don't look physically, their skin that look, it's because they remove too many things out their diet. And then when we're on diets, we
and
tend to do that and then we come back in and then we rush in, right? My thing is I really need to, I have a girlfriend, me and she'd have got to lunch and she'd have be like, I should have eat everything and they'd have bake everything, they'd have bake their breads and everything, right? We'd have share a cookie. And it'll be like, and we'd have share a little bag of chips from Panera. We'd have share it. And it'll be like, I don't want to share it. I want to eat it all by myself. But she taught me a lot. If I could share that cookie, I don't want to share the cookie. I want my own cookie. But I don't
so
need to eat four or five.
I have a classmate, Erica Becar Nelson. Shout out. She was talking about like high fructose corn syrup. Whenever
Right.
you
Mhm.
eat that in anything, stay away from it. Because as I was saying previously before about the aspartame or whatever, the high fructose corn syrup
Aspartame.
is, yeah, aspartame. Thank you. Is what
Aspartame. It's
is
aspartame.
aspartame.
Mhm.
Thank you, Pinky. I appreciate that. But anyway, that's what's killing us. That high fructose corn syrup. It's like
Hmm.
it's the devil, like straight up. Like if you see that in anything, stay away from it because it stays in your body for such a long period of time, man. You know.
Yeah.
I
Um,
don't
Yeah.
think it'll come. I don't think it. Yeah, I don't think it'll come out the body properly. Like
no, it doesn't.
margarine, aspartame. You know, we use aspartame in replace of sugar, but it'll affect your blood sugar 10 times worse than sugar itself.
It does,
Aspartame.
and so does the high fructose corn syrup. You know, and
Yes, it
people don't
does.
Yeah.
understand. It's just like when you read these things and you're like, oh yeah, fat free, and by the time you see once again telltale signs, fat
Yeah,
free,
diet.
anything pertaining to like low salt, low sugar, horrible,
Hmm.
horrible. They're doing
Because
more
Um,
they're
damage to
always
your.
substituting with something else. So.
De- Debbie, we haven't,
Correct.
I know we haven't even gotten into any commentary. Could you just maybe go down the line and share some stuff? I know it's kind of late in the game. We're about to get off, but
Yeah.
I
I
don't know if
mean,
we're
for
able
the
to.
most part, people were talking about Eat Right for Your Blood Type book filled with more whole foods you can eat. I'm reading it off of the StreamYard, so I'm not seeing the names.
Oh, okay.
Some people said please take age as a factor. Um, because of course, again, as you get older, you
Right,
metabolize food very
right.
differently, you eat differently, or you should be eating differently, especially if you're
And
not
and
active. And that's the
and
thing.
anyone can
You
fact
meditate.
check anything that we said here tonight too, because we say something, but anyone can fact check us and just get in the comments and let us know. You know what I mean? Sharing is caring.
Correct. Um, Someone said this challenge is right on time. Earlier today, I decided to get back on track with my morning meditation, stretching, hula hooping, and then hear you all talking about our health and wellness and being accountability partners. So, um, definitely, we have viewers and LNE family that are on board, and they were even on board without even knowing we were going to do this. Go ahead, Lucian.
I have one more thing to say about also with the weight loss surgery. A lot of times, like people think that surgery is actually like helping you. It's destroying your body because it's not allowing your body to absorb like vitamins and material and minerals properly. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see people them like when they do those surgeries, they look a lot older because their
Hmm.
body is not absorbing the minerals the way how it's supposed to. Whenever you're on a diet and you're exercising and you're on medication, you know, you're actually sweating out the toxins out of your body, you know, and that's what like when people start to whenever you're on any kind of medication and you're not exercising, you'll notice that you start to develop like like a huge stomach, and all that is toxins within your body, but you're not
Hmm.
sweating it. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So just wanted
Um,
to share that.
I have, I want to share this. Louis was saying commentary. Kima said, if you want to
Yeah.
lose weight, walk around the house naked more often. When you're forced to see your temple on every mirrored wall, you may cringe at first, but will begin to change automatically.
Oh, you might end up liking it, cause them people who them people who the go in the water in the cold ice cold water, them bear people, what they call them, the polar bear club, and they're going and their bodies don't be looking, but
Some people don't care. Some
yeah,
people
Yeah,
some
don't
people
care.
don't care, Kima. Some
Trust and
people,
Yeah, but
believe.
it might be a motivator for some, I guess,
Yeah.
I
to do
guess,
something different.
but some people might just
Um,
want the temples off.
Some people ain't get
so
no
at
shame. They don't care.
at the end of the day, we just really want everybody to think about this. And if you are, it hits your spirit, join us along this challenge. We're gonna hold each other accountable at the end of the 30 days. Maybe some people can show off what results they had. And again, for everybody, it's going to be different. If you need to go out there and do some research,
Hmm.
um, if you need to make a doctor's appointment just to make sure If you have any health challenges, you know, you get a nutritionist to work with you. You know, we say we're starting Monday, but you know, if you can't start, then at least you're starting, at least you're thinking about it. If you can make one change a day, at the end of the day, we need to bring our best self. We need to love ourselves, and it starts with definitely working on our health. And like we said, it's all intertwined, mental, emotional. Um, and we just want everybody to be successful because, again, as a community, we want to leave a legacy for our children and our children's children and for our community as a whole. And we need to start with our bodies, ourselves first, you know, and you know, again, for some people, it should also include if you do meditation, prayer, because sometimes when you really want something that you know you don't need to have, you need to go in prayer, you need to meditate, you know. So do whatever it is and think about it, so that when I put that post up, everybody can write in the comments what it is they want to work on, and we're going to help each other to be successful in the end. I want
Share
again
your
to tell
numbers
everybody.
too. You know, not your weight numbers. You don't have to share your weight numbers, but if you're diabetic and you have high blood pressure and those kind of things, and in the 30 days or in a week time you see some changes, you could share
Yes,
those
yes,
numbers too with us.
yeah,
You know, like
yeah. Because at the end
anything
of
to
the day, that will be
motivate.
a testimony, correct,
Yeah,
Right.
and
testimony and to
motivation.
motivate somebody else. You know,
Think you just don't want to share her weight. But anyway,
Correct,
that's it's pretty dope actually.
correct.
weight and
Well,
age ain't sharing. Mm-mm.
Well, I want to tell everybody have a wonderful evening. We will be back next week, Thursday. Again, thank you. We're growing. Go ahead to our Love and Enlightenment USVI YouTube channel, subscribe and like, encourage your friends and family to get, you know, become a part of this. Because it's a movement at the end of the day. And when we do better, our kids do better and their kids do better. So I wish everybody safety and health, and we will see you back here next week, Thursday.
I just want to add
And,
to
and
that
thank you
too.
again, Diane, for joining us
Yeah,
and Naomi.
I just want to add to
Thank
that.
you.
Thanks, Diane, very much. For coming on and
Thank
Lomi.
you. Thank you
Definitely,
for having
Thank
me.
you,
we
Thank
Diane.
really
you for
appreciate
inviting
you
me.
guys coming on for sure, man. Definitely,
Thank
so
you.
it was
And Miss
was a
Diane being on.
really good time. Yeah.
I'll find out about
Thank
what the
you.
artist after.
And thank you, viewers, for viewing, for coming on.
For
You know
tuning
what?
in and commenting.
Tuning
Yes.
in.
Yes.
Thank you.
Indeed. Wishing you good things, great things, and beautiful things. Thanks again.
Okay,
Okay
bye.
then. Good night.
Bye.
Good night. Good night, everyone.